Okay. Good day, everyone. Here's our 10 Filipino artworks, and we'll be going to present by Stephanie Girada, Stephanie Kyle S. Concepcion, Kobe Bryant De Leon, Juanito Lebron Jr., Vanessa Solis, Mark Andrew Afable. The first artist is Anita Magsaysayho. Anita Magsaysayho is the first cousin of former President Ramon Magsaysay. She is one of the Philippines' pioneering modernist painters. um, whose she was the pupil of Ferdinand Marsolo, whose influence can sometimes be seen in her landscape artworks such as Fish, Harvest at Dawn, and Three Women in a Landscape. However, her personal signature is independent of her famous teacher and lies not just in her style but also in subjects which most notably are women at work. Her first artwork is Woman Amidst Bananas. And kung makikita nyo, meron tayong four women dito and there's high cheekbones, slanted eyes, and beautiful morena skin. Nakikita niyo yung skin nila. And then, meron silang hawak na bilao and then meron silang banana. And yung surroundings nila, makikita niyo merong nature, harvest crops, and grain. And Anita Magsaysayho works is all about women are her subject of choice. Sinasabi niya na yung mga work niya is regard from the deep admiration, and they continue to inspire women's their movements of gestures, expressions, happiness, and frustration. And the next is of artwork of Miss Anita Magsaysayho is
Three Women in a Landscape, painted between 1950 and 1954, Lot 187, is a rare and relatively early work executed in Magsaysayho's signature egg tempera on canvas. The artistic use of egg tempera is more difficult than oil paint, as the consistency makes this medium harder to control. Magsaysayho's relative control of this technique is one of her distinctive features as a modern master. Three Women in a Landscape is similar to other works from this period, showing stylized figures and strongly colored, interlocking background used to draw the central image into a tightly concentrated whole. It shows the three women, pinapakita naman ito sa pictures na merong tatlong mga Pilipinang kababaihan na nagsisimbolo ng solidarity within the communal nature of Filipino society, particularly amongst the women. So Magsaysayho's modernist spirit is clearly an evidence through the almost cubist patterning of their clothing. The background, yung background ng painting, which is the trees and the gradients of the contrasting colors. That's all. Next presenter is
Victoria
Pat.
Edades. Yeah. The next artist is Victoria Edades. Victoria Edades was a revolutionary artist who was the leader of the 13 Moderns, a group of artists who believed and promoted modernism in artwork. A travel exhibition from the New York Armory Hall was that inspired Edades to follow and appreciate modern art. And he got inspired by some of the modern European artists, including Gauguin. His first artwork is The Builders. This artwork is the builders portrayed tough, dirty construction workers drenched in grime and sweat. The painting became known as the first ever modernist painting in the country. Even his nude paintings were nothing like a merciless portrayal of the Filipina at her best. And the Builders is now part of the collection of the Cultural Center of the Philippines in Manila. The next presenter is Mr. Afable.
Jose T. Joya. He was a Filipino abstract artist and he became a National Artist of the Philippines awardee. And also he studied in University of the Philippines College of Fine Arts. The next, the first artwork is Space Transfiguration. Uh, In this artwork has the most expensive painting in here in the Philippines. The cost of this artwork is more than 100 million and it is sold with the cost of 112 million. Next artwork. Next is the Grenadian Arabesque. It focuses on the different shades of yellow using sun. And also it is the joyous pioneer of modern arts here in the Philippines. My perspective in joyous in artists is about their being a famous person because of their artworks that have a different features. And also the next presenter is Mr. De Leon.
The next artist is Mr. Napoleon Abueva, noted as the father of modern Filipino sculpture. Abueva attended the University of the Philippines with Joya and was mentored by noted sculptor Guillermo Tolentino. At the College of Fine Arts, born in Bohol, he is also the youngest national artist awardee appointed by then President Marcos. At the age of 46, his expertise was seen in a wide array of materials such as hardwood, above the steel, cement, marble, and bronze. Abueva is adept in a traditional representation and modern abstract forms of sculpture. A trip around the University of the Philippines will show you a number of his works, such as the University Gateway and 9 muses near the old faculty center. He was also responsible for the relief marble sculpture seen in the War Memorial Cross in Mount Samat, Bataan. It is the second it is the second highest cross in the world and the tallest in Asia. Under commission of the Philippine government, Aveva collaborated with the designer Lorenzo del Castillo to create a shrine that commemorates the thousands of Filipino and American soldiers who lost their lives during the Japanese-led Bataan death in March in 1942. Make sure to walk up the flight of stairs inside the cross to reach the top and experience the fabulous views of Bataan. And this artwork is The Transfiguration. It's an artwork of Filipino artist Napoleon Aveva. This sculpture shows Jesus during his transfiguration. The transfiguration is when Jesus Christ ascended to heaven from earth. So alam naman natin siguro to lahat. This sculpture is much like the UP Oblation. Alam natin yun sa UP, famous yun din dito. Guillermo Tolentino because it has both horizontal and vertical lines, symmetry because of that the sculpture looks solid and stable. The sculpture has a dull color for it is colored with a light gray. The sculpture is standing upright facing the sky. This symbolizes the ascension of Jesus Christ to heaven. It is placed at the entrance of Eternal Gardens Memorial Park located at St. Joseph, Quezon City. I believe that the reason why the sculpture is placed there is because it is a cemetery. It is a place where the dead are buried and their souls ascend to heaven like Jesus Christ in his transfiguration. The next reporter is Mr. Juanito Lebron Jr.
The next artist is Pasita Barsana Abad. She was an Ivatan and Philippine-American painter. She was born in Basco, Batanes, a small island in the northernmost part of Philippines, between Luzon and Taiwan. Pasita Abad's painting is characterized by color, constant change, and experimentation from the 1970s, right up until her passing in 2004. Pasita's most extensive book of work is her vibrantly colorful trapunto paintings, mixed media painted, textile collages, and abstract assemblages. Abad's journeys and experiences living in Asia, Africa, and the Caribbean had a major impact on her artwork, and her subject matter was largely drawn from her personal experiences. The following are his works. Uh, Pasita Painted Bridge. Ito yung ano, bago siya mamatay, Pasita painted a 55-meter long bridge in Singapore and covered it with 2,350 multicolored circle. The next is Endless Blues. Endless Blues is a work that typifies Filipino Pasita Abad's practices. A strong dedication to a single color in each work, constructed from a rhythmic interviewing of slivers of batik fabric with three-dimensional stitches and vibrant oil paints. The next presenter is
Stephanie Concepcion.
Stephanie Concepcion.
The next one is Fernando Amorsolo. He is the Philippine first national artist in painting 1972, the so-called Grand Old Man of Philippine art. Amorsolo earned a degree from the Liceo de Manila Art School in 1909 and entered the University of the Philippines School of Fine Arts. Here is the work of Fernando Amorsolo. First is the El Ciego, or the Blind Man. This is an oil-on panel in 1929. This work commissioned by a naval intelligence officer who helped in the liberation of Manila during World War. The next one is the Afternoon Meal of the Rice Workers, 1951. It is an all-on canvas. It is won first prize in the New York World's Fair.